Welcome back, YouTube. Once again, we're dealing with a big story coming out about EA Sports and its new college football video game that's supposed to come out next year. Let's get right into the story. Came out about 4 hours ago, and I just wanted to cover it for you guys because it kind of ties in with the previous two videos that we've done here on YouTube about NIL issues and about whether or not players are opting in to the game. So let's go ahead and go right to my next thing, and let's take a look at this article right here. This is EA Sports hit with lawsuit over college football video game. You can see the today's date, the 20th of June, 2023, 1:33 p.m. It is from Front Office Sports, the Brander Group. We talked about them in last week's video, being the second group that had said, hey, players shouldn't opt into the new video game from EA Sports, new college football video game. Well, now sounds like they're going to be suing EA Sports. And EA Sports is trying to go around them to offer deals to athletes to participate in the game. So basically, the Brander Group, which has agreements to facilitate group licensing deals for 54 D1 schools and their athletes involved in the EA Sports college football game, they're suing EA, as you can see here. So let's go ahead and scroll down just a little bit. The controversy surrounding athletic compensation in the EA Sports college football game, which is set to be released in 2024, has escalated from public comments to a bona fide lawsuit. So in the span of 3 weeks, we've gone from one group saying, hey, players shouldn't opt into this, to a second group saying it, and this group represents athletes and schools. And then we're now on the third week, and that second group, the Brander Group, has now filed a lawsuit. I don't know what this means for EA college football, guys. Let's read further. The Brander Group, which has deals to negotiate group licensing contracts for 54 Division I schools that would be represented in the game, is suing EA over the name, image, and likeness deals being offered to athletes. Now, real quick, everything I'm about to read, I'm seeing this for the first time based on this news article, so this is all live reaction for you guys to understand. But it sounds like right now the Brander Group is saying, hey, we're the only ones who can negotiate deals for athletes. You didn't go through us. We would tell our athletes not to be in this game, and you're trying to go around us. So that seems to be the problem, and that's why they're going to be filing this lawsuit. Okay? The lawsuit was filed on Tuesday in the Northern District of California federal court after being originally filed in San Mateo County, California, where EA is headquartered. The Brander Group is contracted by schools nationwide to facilitate group licensing agreements using the intellectual property of schools as well as athletes' NILs. The Brander Group is alleging that EA is trying to circumvent its agreements to negotiate deals for athletes to participate in the football game. So just like I said, Brander Group is saying, hey, EA is trying to go around us to offer deals to athletes. We're the ones who handle the NIL deals. They're not the ones. They should have come through us. They didn't. So this is, I think, where you're going to have a bit of a problem. The Brander Group and EA had been in contact multiple times in 2021 and 2022 about EA's plans to offer athletes NIL deals to be featured in the EA Sports college football game. Court documents obtained by Front Office Sports alleged. Give me just a second. Let me check something. EA said via email that deals for athletes at the Brander Group schools would be done through the Brander Group. Okay, so initially, 2021, 2022, everything seems copacetic. Brander Group is going to be the one handling the deals. But in May 2023, EA chose to work with a different company called One Team Partners to help facilitate the group licensing deals with athletes. Now EA is offering deals with the help of One Team Partners that athletes can opt into directly without any involvement from the Brander Group. The current deal being offered is reportedly $500 per athlete with no royalties. No royalties. A deal that both the Brander Group and an athlete advocate group called the College Football Players Association have said is below fair market value. Meanwhile, schools might receive revenues amounting to 10% of what the entire game brings in. The Brander Group alleged in the lawsuit complaint. Okay? Athletes and schools have until June 30th to opt in, the lawsuit stated. So in 10 days, that's how long it is for schools and athletes to opt into this new video game. Again, that might be why we're not hearing a lot about it, because we don't know who's opting in, who's opting out, and this might put a real hamper on who's opting in. The Brander Group alleges that it must be able to negotiate on behalf of the athletes at schools for which it has contracts, and that EA's decision to ask athletes to opt in directly to a deal without the involvement of the Brander Group amounts to tortious interference. Okay, so basically, they're interfering with Brander's Group's ability to represent the athletes in the schools that they're supposed to represent. That's what I would take from that. EA places TBG's partner schools in the unenviable position of either breaching their contracts with TBG or potentially losing the opportunity for themselves and their athletes to participate in the game, the lawsuit said. EA's tactics will also cause irreparable harm to TBG's client athletes and to every student athlete who opts in to their scheme for unfair compensation, because they're being deprived of the opportunity to have their own representative negotiate on their behalf for fair compensation for the use of their NIL. As a result, the Brander Group is requesting that EA halt all of its negotiations with athletes and schools for which the company has contracts. As we have previously stated, our primary concern is advocating for student athletes, ensuring they have a voice and are justly represented in all matters pertaining to their use of their NIL, the Brander Group said in a statement. We believe that student athletes are not receiving fair market value for their NIL rights and that the contractual rights asked for may limit other NIL gaming opportunities. We have no further comment at this time. EA Sports has not produced a college football game in over a decade since a federal court case called O'Bannon versus NCAA found that it was illegal for the NCAA and EA to not compensate college athletes whose NILs have been used in an EA college basketball game. No college sports video game, including real players, have since been made. The beginning of the NIL era allowed for EA to begin the process of creating video games again. EA did not immediately respond to requests for a comment. So we're going to link this story down below in the YouTube video, but it's becoming very interesting, guys. It's becoming very interesting because we're finding out that this might not be as simple as just putting the game. And again, I keep bringing it back to people say, well, then just don't put the schools and the team in. Well, if you can't put the team in, because remember now, they're saying 54 D1 schools are being asked, hey, you can't be in the game because you might break your contract with us. That's a lot of teams. Let's see if we can find out who's in it. So hold on just a second. Let me take a look here. I'm going to blacken my screen. It is the Brander Group. Let's see who they represent. Right? This is a big deal. Guys, let's take a look at universities. Okay. So here I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to guess the universities that they're representing are these schools that are coming across the screen right here. So as you see there, if they're with Texas, LSU, Nebraska, Texas Tech, Georgia, Baylor. I mean, if they're with some of these big names, I mean, Georgia's the defending national champion, guys. Okay? They're the defending national champion. Villanova, Indiana, Appalachian State. Villanova's not D1. They're FCS, but they're not FBS. We got Bama in there. We got Baylor. I mean, if these are the teams that they're representing, Auburn, this is a really big deal. This is a really big deal because then you might have these schools be kept out of the new EA college football game if some arrangement's not reached with the EA. So that's how big this news story was today that was dropped. It's not something to scoff at. You're seeing a lot of the bigger schools coming across, and it looks like these are their university partners. This is the Brander Group's website. I don't know what this means for EA college football. It may be delayed another year, guys, while they get this litigation over with. But it is massive. And it's not just, hey, we're going to put players in. Again, if you say, oh, well, we'll just put the teams in and we'll put the players in, it's all about, well, we know exactly who they are. That's why the games went away in the first place. Never had the name, but it had the size, had the number, had all these things. And that's why the game had to go away. So I would like an attorney to talk about what some of the issues may be with NIL. But guys, this is a huge story that has just come across today. Again, if you're just joining us, EA Sports has been sued, has been hit with a lawsuit by the Brander Group, who we were just looking at, their university partners scrolling across there. The Brander Group is saying that EA has basically tried to go around, went with another group to try and get around the Brander Group in negotiating for the licensing of the schools and the athletes at those schools, and that is a major thing. Hopefully this gets done quickly and we can find out more about it. If you're enjoying this content, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe down below. We're gonna start putting more and more NCAA football 14 dynasties on. I've been doing a Syracuse dynasty. I've still got to get more of the cupcakes up for you guys. But this is big. This is a huge story, and I hope everybody's paying attention. This is not going to go away. EA has got to figure out a way to make the NIL, the way you pay the athletes for NIL, really, really fair. I think a sliding scale, some type of thing with royalties is going to have to be worked out. We may have to wait for this game even maybe another year. Hopefully not. I could be wrong, and I'm hoping that I'm wrong. But the way this is going, we're now almost a year out from launch, and you just saw EA Sports is being sued. There may be others that will as well sue EA Sports due to this issue. We're going to find out. You guys have a good day. We'll see you on the next time here on the Big End Sports Network.